Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again with another Cataclysm card review, and we had another one of those really large creator reveals where we saw a ton of priest cards. We're going to be healing a lot as priest apparently, and Warlock where they're going to upset some people on Reddit. We're going to be destroying minions in our opponent's deck with a certain very evil colossal minion. And if you want to win these cards, you want to troll some people or heal up a ton as priest or make that healing go face. We're giving away 2 regular pre-orders and 2 mega bundles out of my pocket to enter that giveaway. Like and comment in the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel every 1,000 subs we get until that rewards track refresh goes live. I'll add another mega bundle, so hit that sub button, make me go baroque. So let's start off with, of course, my favorite class in the world, Priest, with the brand new Chillwind Yeti, or different type of card, but stat lines and all that. The Cleansing Cleric. This is a 4 mana 4/5 Draenei, so we're getting Draenei support just as Velen's leaving, and this would have been a nice battle cry to get more of. With battle cry, your healing effects restore 2 more health this game. This is a permanent buff to like your hero power, any healing spell. This will double it up. Anything that heals up for you gets 2 extra, and you can play multiple of these, right? This is an epic, so you can run 2 in your deck and maybe find ways to get more copies, as priests can sometimes do. You can get a ton of healing value, and that can be double it up even more with the Medivh Fabled card, right? With the weapon that comes alongside of it. So premium stats, pretty good effect to help keep you alive. Basically make your hero power just a card true art, right? That could be really good. Or you're still imbuing and then you're just trying to find heal spells that get 2 more, or lifesteal effects or whatever, right? Like that can add up significantly, and it does appear that Priest is really going in on a heal campaign, and of course that the location we saw already, that can translate to extra damage later rather than straight up healing. So there's a lot of flexibility in that regard. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 in standard. Actually, you know what? Let's bump it up to a 4. I think this is going to be a very important card for Priest going forward, getting that extra healing, maybe using that to kill your opponent too, right? So in standard, I'll give it a 4. In wild, probably too slow to like ramp up your healing and play a 4 mana 4/5. Do nothing when you play it unless you have like a 0 mana Raza hero power going on or something like that. Probably not really happening there, so I'll give it a 2, but you never know. It could happen. There's a lot of good healing effects in wild, and maybe this can enable some shenanigans that smarter people will think of rather than me. Next, we have a spell that doesn't really work with this, but it's a good card in Mend, a 1 mana holy spell, so really cheap. You could play this in the quest, I guess. Restore a minion to full health. That could be your own, that could be the opponent's if you really want. Draw a card. So this is reminiscent of like a powered shield of gain +2 health and draw a card. That's really nice. And yeah, you have like a very high health minion at low health. You can heal it fully up, or like injured Blade Master back in the day and play Mend on it and fully heal that. That can be really good, but you could also just put it on a full health minion to cycle and draw. That's good. It's a solid card that will see plenty of play in whatever priest decks, whether it's more of a combo style thing, controlling. It's just a good card. This is just a good card. This gets another 4 out of 5 in standard from me. Card draw's good, health gain's good. That's just a solid card. And in wild, I'll give it a 3 as well, because it's another 1 mana spell that like a Nazmani deck can throw in there to cycle, right? It's just solid. It's just more cheap card draw. Actually, I'll give it a 4 in both formats, just because it's cheap card draw. That's always good. I guess the only thing holding it back in wild is it's a holy spell, so all these shadow decks don't want to play it. But other than that, yeah, really good card. Next, we have the Purifying Breath, another Purify card for Priest. Is it better than Purify? Well, it's 2 mana. It's a fire spell, which is pretty unique for Priest, and it deals 5 damage to a minion, so clearly cannot go face. If it dies, restore 5 health to the enemy hero. So again, you could use that location and flip it around, the healing effect. I think that would work, but yeah, this is like a very cheap removal option, and if you don't really care about healing your opponent early, who cares, right? You can just remove a decent sized threat. That can be all right. And I think it can work in that you can damage your opponent in the late game with it, but probably really not worth it for that. I just feel like this is a decent cheap removal that, again, you probably don't care too much about if you're healing your opponent when you're killing something. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. This could slot in as like a decent little removal option for some priest decks, and in wild, yeah, definitely like more of a 1. There's better removal, and again, you really want to go in like shadow in that format for the most part, but probably not making the cut for the wild format. And there's a reason I brought up Injured Blade Master earlier, because yes, we have the Injured Attendant, a 3 mana 3/8 undead, and it is lifesteal, battle cry, deal 4 damage to this minion. You effectively have a 3 mana 3/4 heal your hero for 4, right? This is lifesteal, so it'll deal damage to the minion that heals your hero. So spider tank that basically heals you, and you can play like Mend on this and heal it up and have a nice high health lifesteal minion on the board that you can do some stuff with and maybe copy up or something like that. We'll take a look at in a second, but overall decent like tempo style card, good healing again. A really annoying minion if you could heal this up and have it stick around buff in any regard. Again, I'll give this a 3 out of 5. I think this is relatively playable, and the fact that just straight out the gate, it's pretty good effect on the card, right? That's pretty darn good. So yeah, 3 out of 5 in standard, and maybe in wild, like an Inner Fire Priest, maybe they would ever care about this if that would to come back. Like it could be all right. I'll give it a 3 there too. You never know. It's more like a 2 or a 1 in wild, but I'm being generous, okay? It's pretty good flavor and a good throwback, and might be able to do some good stuff. We have the Incensed Matriarch, a 4 mana 3/3 dragon. So no Zarimi Priest support because Zarimi's rotating, but at the end of your turn, if this is at full health, gain +3 health. I don't think that works with like the healing card, like restoring health, because this is just gaining health. But right out the gate, again, it's a 4 mana 3/6, right? Once it goes on the board, as it get damaged at any point, then it'll gain 3 more health, which you can of course mend and do things like that to influence this and have it stick around. To me, this seems a little ambitious, and there's not a ton of dragon synergies anymore now that you can't take an extra turn. Surely there are dragon things you can do at priest, but I don't see this as a card that I don't know. I don't really see, because the fact that you have to have it at full health to gain that health. If it was just constantly gaining +3 health, then we might be talking. But yeah, if it's just slightly damaged, it's not going to completely snowball. But at the end of your turn, you have a better chance of manipulating that. So it certainly has more merit. I'll give it a 2 out of 5. I feel like this doesn't quite make the cut in these like heal decks, because there's like some good stuff going on here already, and I don't really know if you need this. I feel like that 3 drop that we just look at, that to me looks a lot more interesting to keep around with the lifesteal effect on it. So yeah, we'll give this a 2 out of 5 in standard, a 1 in wild, where I think, yeah, a lot too slow. And then we have the Shatter card for Priest in Schism. It's a 4 mana shadow spell, so you can play this in Shadow Priest, where this will shatter when it enters your hand, split into 2 parts. If it's combined, you give a friendly minion +2/3 and elusive, summon a copy of it. So 1/2 just does the buff, +2/3 and elusive. That's not very good for 4 mana, but summon a copy of a friendly minion. That's pretty much like on par for 4 mana. Like you're looking at 3 or 4 mana for that kind of effect, and we know how good copying can be, especially with all these high health minions. And if you can slap elusive on there on top of it, that can be great. But again, this is a shatter card where I don't hate it if I have to just play 1/2 on its own, particular the copy, right? So it has that flexibility where it's not unplayable if it's split up, and it's really good if it's combined. And copying up possibly your Colossal, although that's a bit expensive, might not be very doable. It's a possibility, and that could be really darn annoying for your opponent as you heal a bunch and clear their board. And again, we can res that with the new 6-drop new core set card. So Schism, to me, 3 stars out of 5. It's got validity to it because you could summon a copy for 4 mana. The +2/3 to elusive can be nice, but the copy is a big deal to me. So 3 out of 5 in standard, and a 1 in wild, where it's slower and you can copy for a lot cheaper in that format. So that's all the priest cards. Let's skip straight to the Colossal for Warlock, so we know what all the heralding is doing and what we could do to take advantage of this card. This is a diabolical one. In Cho'Gall Master mind. He is a 9 mana, 6/6 minion, Colossal +2, so you get 2 extensions, and it reads your arms and soldiers. So if you have a soldier on the board from heralding earlier, it will work. Destroys minions in the enemy's deck instead. And what does that mean? Well, we have Cho's Arm, which is a 1 mana 1/1, so it can become a 2/2 and then a 4/4. And it reads, at the end of your turn, destroy the minion to the right to gain +2/+2. So that will scale up to +4/+4 and then +8/+8. So if you don't have Cho'Gall on the board, you need one of your own minions on the board to feed either a soldier or the arm, right? And it'll destroy your own minion. So it's the whole Warlock thing of self-destruct, destroying your own minions. The Egg of Kelos, maybe something like that, right? However, if Cho'Gall's on the board, the arm won't destroy Cho'Gall. It will get the buff though, but it'll just destroy, I'm assuming, a random minion that's in your opponent's deck. It's gonna get destroyed. So this could hit a key combo piece, something like that, right? This is basically like a TNT from Boom Boss, except it just nukes a minion, right? And if they keep snowballing, they keep getting larger. It can keep doing that as long as Cho'Gall's on the board. Otherwise, it's destroying your own stuff. So it's kind of crazy how, like, you play this originally to destroy your own stuff, and then you flip that switch and maybe disrupt your opponent, get a ton of stats. There's no value out of this thing. It's purely stats and destroying stuff. So this is a really hard one to evaluate, because you're going to want to have to, like, you know, destroy other things, but maybe cards that you play will summon those soldiers, and typically the soldier will spawn to the right of a minion, and this is destroy the minion to the right. So we'll see how it plays out, but what an evil colossal or whatever. We'll see if people on Reddit hate it or love it, but I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It's very expensive. It doesn't necessarily have a direct impact on the board outside of stats, so I'm not sure how effective it could be, but I'm thinking like Egg of Kelos, or just, you know, an egg style of a Warlock that has this really nasty late game win con of just crazy stats and disruption. Maybe it can be a thing. And in Wild, even though disruption is king, it doesn't come online till way too late to be relevant, so I will give it a 1 for that format. So how do we herald this guy, right? We need some herald cards. Well, starting off, we have a location that heralds the Shrine of Twilight. 4 mana, 2 durability, and you herald Cho'Gall, draw a card. So you'll just get the soldier, which should be on the screen, which, if there's nothing on the board, won't really do anything. You need a minion to destroy, right, to gain that +2/+2. And yeah, you're gonna want some type of token thing to go with it, but you also get, you know, 4 mana, draw 2 cards over, what, 3 turns, because you gotta wait for a little bit, and you get to herald twice out of the 1 location. So 2 locations, you're basically done, right? You'll have herald 4 times with the 2 locations, but they do take some time, so there is that. But again, you're gonna want to play all your herald cards. This helps you draw, get those soldiers going. I will give this a 3 out of 5 in standard, because again, you need all this stuff to get these decks working. There's not a ton of herald options out there. And in Wild, yeah, I think all this will get a 1 from me. And we also have another herald card here in Shadowsworn Disciple, a 2 mana 2/1 minion with Battle Cry, herald Cho'Gall. Death Rattle, restore 3 health to your hero. So again, the way it goes, I believe you will herald and the soldier will be on the right. So I don't know if it will just, unless this one's different and it will spawn on the left. It would be amazing to spawn on the left of this and then eat it and get the health, but I don't think it works that way. But this can be a minion you can target with your other herald cards after you play this, right? Possibly. So regardless, it's an okay minion. You get healing, which Warlock always needs, and you get to herald. It's relatively cheap. Again, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 in standard, a 1 in Wild. It's got a bit of a shot. We'll see what happens, but yeah, having to destroy the minion to the right is going to make this a little bit complicated if these summoning rules are what we are, you know, used to with these type of cards. But we have more than just that for Warlock. We also have the Eldritch Tentacles, a 6 mana shadow spell, deal 3 damage to all minions. Repeat this with 1 less damage. So my understanding of the card is you'll deal 3 damage to all minions, including your own. You will then repeat it and deal 2 damage to all minions for a total of 5 damage. I don't think it repeats over and over until it's done, right? It just repeat the one time at 3 and 2. And I guess if you have spell damage on this, it would be like deal 4 damage to all minions, repeat this with 1 less damage, so you do 4 and 3. Warlock typically doesn't utilize effects like that, but this is pretty solid, right? 6 mana, deal 5, kind of like a flame strike, right? And the fact that it does it in a bit of a loop, it can get through bind shields or possibly death rattles, reborn, things like that. AoE is at a real premium right now in Standard. We have seen so many impactful board clears leaving the core set, and a card like this to me is going to be a big deal. And the fact that Warlock got Twisting Nether added to the core set seems to be like they really want Warlock to be a bit more of the controlling class, more so than a lot of the other ones. So I think this is solid. I think it's a good AoE card. What does it go into? Maybe like this could be a good Egg of Kelos thing, right? You hit an egg, it kills an egg, and then it can damage another egg, so can go into there, or just, yeah, that grindy Herald deck where you're trying to get to your Colossal, trying to get to Deathwing. It can help with that, or a Fom Warlock, another AoE option for that deck as well. I think all around, it's really solid. We'll see plenty of play in these slower Warlock decks. I'll give it a 4 out of 5 in Standard, a 2 out of 5 in Wild, where there's way better AoE options in that format. But again, we are looking at AoE being in a real premium going into this rotation, so I'm rating it probably higher than I would any other year the way things are looking. We also have the Duke of Below, a 4 mana 2/2 epic minion with Rush, and it is a nasty looking artwork there. This has +2/+2 for each card you've discarded this game. There's not a ton of great discard cards in Standard, and at the end of the day, it's just going to be a stat bomb. You really need to have discarded at least 2 cards, right? You want to have discarded 2 cards for this to get it to be like a 4 mana 6/6. After that, it's pretty good. Maybe in Wild, because you're discarding so many cards, it's worth playing this big stat bomb, but they just nerfed Soul Barrage, and you probably still want to play that and discard Warlock, and this will mess with like Expire Merchant, which you still want to run. I don't see it as a wild card. I don't see it as a standard card. It gets a 2 out of 5 in both formats for me, but it's right on the precipice for both. I haven't seen another discard card yet in this package, but there's still more Warlock cards to come in. I would be shocked if we don't get a hand targeting discard card specifically for Warlock. So again, Wild players, be aware of that, because again, we got this card here, Disposable Acolytes, a 2 mana shadow spell. When you play or discard this, summon 2 random 1-cost minions. And the only discard card I'm aware of that we've seen this expansion is that 3-drop, the neutral 3-drop. So I'm guessing we're going to see one later of the last reveals or whatever. Regardless, yeah, get 2 random 1-cost minions. That's all right. We've seen that with like Rogue and Flash Sale, whatever it's called, where they get +1 attack from Wild, can be all right. And this is Standard, so could be a lot better pool of minions. And if you have a reliable way to discard this, we just don't have a ton right now in Standard. It could be a decent little tempo card. As it stands with what I know, I don't think this will see play in Standard, so I'll give it a 2. And in Wild, I don't think it's impactful enough to see play, despite discard Warlock being really good. So again, I'll give it a 2 for that format. And I believe the last card we have here is a weird one in Cursed Chains, a 2 mana epic spell, shadow spell at that. You take control of an enemy minion until the end of their turn. It can't attack this turn. So basically, this is holding a minion hostage for a turn. You can't like grab it and then attack with it. You can just grab it and then it just kind of sits there, and maybe you can self-destruct it with your Herald card, right? You can grab a minion from them and then your soldier or whatever will destroy it. And that could be a strategy. I could see that being a removal option for that deck. Or I feel like you're only playing this if you're destroying the minion you're taking, basically. And that can absolutely be a reality with this Herald stuff. I could see that, or just like a, just a stalling tool, right? They can't use it their next turn. It's just sitting there, or it's like a taunt. That could be really annoying too. So this has some flexibility. This has some absolutely good utility to it, and could just be super annoying and really good with the Colossal. So I'll give this a 3 out of 5 in Standard. I could see it seeing play, and in Wild, probably too slow, but against Big Shaman That could be kind of fun. They cheat out their big thing and then you just yoink it and then kill it off. Like, Big Shaman's still a thing out there, so you never know. I'll give it a 3 in WoW just because you never know the shenanigans that it can create. So I believe that is it for now. I think there's one reveal later today, so stay tuned for one of our classic 1-card reviews. Trust me, it's pretty crazy, so you'll want to tune in for that. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.